Hey, it's Rich, and today I have some general maintenance I got to take care of on the Jeep, but a new modification I want to look at while I'm there. Oil change, air filter, tire rotation, all that stuff's going to happen. But I have noticed in the past when I do some general maintenance that hood prop rod does get kind of in the way. Not so much the case when it was its stock height, but now with 37-inch tires, 2.5 inches of lift, even the aid of the AEV step bumper, which has a nice little knee pad on it to climb up on, that prop rod does get in the way when I'm trying to get access from the passenger side. So today I'm going to be looking at gas struts for the hood and seeing if that solves my problem. Everything comes neatly packed in some bubble pack and is pretty compact overall. You get an instruction book. Here are those hood struts. They're kind of like a carbon fiber printed material on a sleeve that's over the gas strut. Just something that's aesthetic, obviously not real carbon fiber. They give you all the brackets and hardware. They even give you an extra E-clip, but everything comes fairly complete. The first thing we have to do is identify the clips we're going to remove, and if you take a look here, it's the ones at the top right corner that you're seeing now, and the same on the left side. We need to go ahead and remove those retaining clips that keep that insulator up. On the passenger side first, we'll pull that out, and basically we just want to make sure that we can see through that hole so that we can put the upper pin in. Now they do provide these bars that are basically attached to the nut on the back, which you have to slip in through the little slot that's above the seal on the side of the fender panel. Once you line up that hole, we've got to take the pin that the upper part of the strut mounts on, put a washer in, and then thread that into that bolt that you're holding on the back. Now you want to do this by hand and just get it started so that you don't cross-thread anything. And when you do get it to a certain point, you use a 12 millimeter here, and I use the impact to speed it on there and kind of snug it up against the aluminum. After that, all you've got to do is firmly pull. Just make sure you've got something that's not going to slip in your hands and cut. The lower bracket is pretty straightforward. It's a nice bracket. Basically, this bolt here you see in the fender is going to be the one that we're going to pull out, and it's going to mount right where that bolt hole is and restrain itself with the little clip that goes over the top. So we're going to need a 10 millimeter for that, and we're just going to pop that off. I'm going to again use my impact here, and we're going to reuse this bolt, so don't let that go anywhere and don't drop it inside the engine compartment. That's always a pain to find out. So once we have that bracket in place, we're going to go ahead and start that 10 millimeter bolt right through that hole. And it's not super critical how this kind of sits on that ridge. You don't have to spend too much time. I kind of fiddle with it here, trying to keep it flat against it. But ultimately, it's going to be the torque that you put down on the bolt that's going to hold it in its position. So once you get that squared away, we're going to use the lower portion of that strut rod, and we're going to slide that eyelet over that sleeve, and we're going to insert that E-clip. And this just pops over. There's a little groove that you have to set it into. Sorry about the camera, I was trying to do two things at once. Make sure it clips all the way down so the retaining clip is in the groove. On the top side, we're going to go ahead and push this up and into the ball socket, and we're just going to press forward to snap that in place. With the one side done, you're going to put the prop rod up, complete the same thing on the driver's side. It's identical instructions, it's just everything is mirrored. Make sure that our E-clip is clipped completely in the groove, and now it's time to see what exactly it looks like when it's working. So here you'll see no prop rod, everything's out of the way. You can reach up, it's got a little bit of a spring load to it. Obviously it's a gas pressurized strut. It'll clip down on that hook that's in the center. You're going to have to apply a little bit of force to get the hooks on the side because it does have more upward force, but it really for the most part works the same as the original system did. Releasing the hood works just about the same. I did notice there's a little bit more pressure, as you can see me pushing down to release the side latches. The center latch will catch once you have those, but then there it goes, raises on its own, pretty much works as advertised. Now one of the things that is a drawback is the prop rod allows you to move the hood to any position you want. Because this stuff has a fixed length of the rod here, this prevents the hood from moving in any direction further. So if I wanted to lean this against the windshield to gain further access, I would not be able to do that with the struts. Now, that's something that a lot of people will do, but these two bumps on the hood here not only are sprayers, but this will allow you to set the hood on the windshield without damaging it and allow us some more space to work underneath. I think this is something that I'm probably going to work with, and for now, I know there's some retaining clips out there, and I might take these E-clips out and put a retaining clip in that allows for a kind of quick removal. So if I do need to do any service and pop the hood all the way open, I'll be able to do that, so I'm not limited by the gas struts. But for now, it looks like it works just fine. And I'll give you some long-term results. I'm always worried about the engine heat that the Jeep has under the hood, and gas struts, there could be some complications or issues, but I'll definitely let you know on what goes on with these as I get some time with them on the trail. So if you enjoyed the content today, please hit that subscribe and notifications bell. It helps me out, and it definitely lets you know when I have the newest content coming to my channel. So if I don't see you here, I hope to see you on the trail.